FICON and Project MX 1016. The Cold War era, marked by intense military rivalry, spurred numerous innovations, including the groundbreaking concept of flying aircraft carriers. Epitomized by the U.S. Air Force FICON project, FICON, a portmanteau of fighter and conveyor, was a 1950s program exploring the deployment of smaller fighter craft carried by larger bombers. The core idea of FICON was to pair a large bomber, capable of long-range flight, with a small, agile parasite fighter. This fighter could deploy a nuclear bomb with precision before rejoining its mothership bomber. This strategy offered a solution to the limitations of bombers in carrying out tactical reconnaissance missions, as they could now transport a more stealthy aircraft to needed locations. For this ambitious project, the Convair B-36 Peacemaker was chosen. With a wingspan of 230 feet, it was the largest aircraft of its time and remains the largest mass-produced piston-engine aircraft. The Peacemaker's selection hinged on its impressive range of 10,000 miles and a maximum payload of 39,600 kilograms. Despite its original design for nuclear bomb delivery, initial experiments in the late 1940s preceding the main FICON project involved wing-tip coupling, where smaller planes were attached to a larger one wing-tip to wing-tip. Successful tests included pairing a Culver Q-14B Cadet with a Douglas C-47A Skytrain. This led to the Tiptoe MX 1016 project, where two Republic F-84 Thunderjets were connected to the wingtips of a modified B-29 Super Fortress, aiming to extend fighter jet range. The Central FICON project innovated by exploring various deployment methods, including a trapeze system mounted below a bomber's fuselage. A modified Peacemaker equipped with this trapeze mechanism in its bomb bay carried an adapted F-84E Thunderjet. However, this arrangement increased drag and reduced the bomber's range by 5 to 10%. This design also allowed the fighter pilot to exit his aircraft while docked, making lengthy flights more tolerable. In 1952, FICON trials achieved 70 successful launches and retrievals. The system went into production and service with the Strategic Air Command, with the faster F-84F Thunderstreak replacing the F-84. However, despite its apparent viability, the FICON system saw limited action. The emergence of the newer B-52 bomber and the U-2 aircraft in the late 1950s led to the FICON program's cancellation. Acon-class aircraft. The Acon-class balloons, helium airships from the early 1930s, represented a pioneering venture in aviation as the world's first purpose-built flying aircraft carriers. Among these, the USS Akron stood out, capable of carrying, launching, and recovering several F-9C Sparrowhawk fighter planes. Despite its monumental achievements, the Akron was tragically ill-fated. During that era, airships were lauded for their long range and low operating costs, making them advantageous for military transport. The Akron-class airships, including the Akron and its sister ship the USSM, were designed as airborne bases for scouting and reconnaissance missions. Manufactured by the Goodyear Zeppelin Corporation, the Akron measured an impressive 800 feet in length, making it, along with the Mac, one of the largest flying objects ever constructed. These airships could carry a squadron of Sparrowhawk fighters, enabling extended scouting, stealth operations, and providing air-to-air defense. The Sparrowhawks were deployed and retrieved using a trapeze mechanism, allowing them to scout for enemy submarines and ships. However, the Akron's operational history was marked by tragedy. In early 1932, during a landing attempt at a naval base, the airship rose abruptly after the mooring line was cut. 4 men handling the landing lines were pulled up into the air. One managed to let go at 15 feet, sustaining a broken arm, while 2 others tragically fell to their deaths. One who secured himself with the rope was eventually rescued. The Akron's journey ended on April 4, 1933, when it encountered a violent thunderstorm off the coast of New Jersey and crashed, resulting in the loss of 73 of the 76 men on board. The Mac continued to operate until February 12, 1935. It too met its demise in a storm off Point Sur, California, suffering structural failures and descending into the ocean. Thanks to the life jackets and inflatable rafts on board, a lesson learned from the Akron disaster, only 2 crew members perished in the Mac incident. Today, the wreck of the Mac remains a submerged monument to a bold yet ultimately ill-fated chapter in aviation history. Continued in the next response.